Eric Balchunas gives us a date. Is that what we're talking about for the Ethereum ETF? What's the date?
It is sometime this coming week. And so you're listening to this on Friday next week, as soon as I get back to the United States with my Horcrux. 7/23. What day is that? So which
Tuesday.
Is for
You
Tuesday.
don't know this, David, but I'm actually out that day, and you already scheduled, man. We already scheduled podcast for you. So Eric Balchunas.
Oh, you scheduled a podcast for me?
Yeah.
While I was gone, while
Yeah.
you're going to be gone, guys. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for doing that.
So you're talking to Eric Balchunas on Tuesday around 3 p.m. and you're live streaming. So just so you know,
I'm
You're
literally
live
finding this
streaming.
out for the first time.
and you're going to be talking about the launch of Ethereum ETFs.
The ETH ETFs.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Right.
On Tuesday.
Because I'm going to come. I get back on Monday, past market hours.
Yeah.
And so of course it launches on Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for your work in just running.
It was a very
Gary's
hard
Horcrux.
climb.
Okay, so this is a date though, and they're all going to launch. Let's talk about who's launching on this date. Let's see. SEC
all of
has
them,
given,
aren't they?
Yeah, all of them. But who are they? To at least 3 of the 8 spot ETH ETF issuers begin trading on Tuesday, so the products will be available to trade on Tuesday. This is a whole bunch. So Franklin, Templeton, VanEck, Bitwise, 21 Shares, Fidelity, iShares. I always forget which one's BlackRock. Is that iShares?
iShares is BlackRock.
Yeah, that's BlackRock. Grayscale, of course, they got their mini trust, ProShares, Invesco, all of them. So it's another horse race to see who can grab all of the Ethereum ETF liquidity.
It's also a race on fees. Franklin Templeton is coming in at the cheapest fees of the ETH ETF at 0.19%, 19 bips, with a waiver. I don't know how long the waiver is, but like waiver means like maybe 6 months, I think is standard, 3 months. And so like months of no fees, and then 0.19% fees for Franklin Templeton. VanEck at Bitwise are at 0.2%. 21 Shares at 0.21%. Fidelity, iShares, Grayscale, Mini Trust, 0.25%. Okay, now I can see why people say 25 bips.
Yeah, you
25
guys say
bips for Fidelity.
Yeah, get TradFi.
Invesco
bips.
Galaxy also 25 bips, but no waiver. Whereas Fidelity, iShares, and the Grayscale Mini Trust will have a waiver. And then the Grayscale ETH 2.5%, 250 bips, but they will convert 10% of the fund into the mini trust, and their mini trust has 25 bips. Yeah, it's a lot of bips. Why are they doing this? Why are they if they can change their fee, why are they spinning up the mini trust at all? Why don't they just lower the fee on the 2.5%, the 250 bips? Why don't they just lower it down to what their mini trust is? Why do they even need a mini trust at all?
Yeah,
I know I have my conspiracies.
Well, I don't think it's a conspiracy. It's probably like a pretty rational short-term business decision. But what is it?
If you are an owner of the Grayscale ETH trust, paying 2.5%, and then the ETH gets converted into an ETF, you will need to do something to roll that into the mini trust.
Yeah.
Or you will have to like sell it and to buy like one of the others. So you are going to actually have to open up your brokerage app, press that sell button, and then incur your capital gains. And so if you are one of 2 people, you are caught paying this 2.5% fee. 2 types of people. One, I'm going to call AFK Capital, away from keyboard capital. People who just aren't aware, don't know, just lazy, like retirement brokerage account.
It's
and
summertime.
You're just taking
They're on
it.
vacation, man.
Yeah, right. 2.5% fee, like fees, whatever. Like fine, whatever. So that's you. Or somebody who bought ETH at a very low price and you do not want to pay that capital gains tax bill. So both of these 2 populations are like basically cornered into paying this 2.5% Grayscale fee.
It's a business decision that Grayscale's making, I guess, and so we'll see how it plays out in the horse race here. A question was asked of Hester Peirce, so Commissioner Hester Peirce. What about staked ETF future? So we have a regular ETF as of Tuesday of next week. How about an ETF, an ETH ETF with staking? And her response was this: that the SEC is always open for reconsideration, as far as I'm concerned. I think that makes sense as far as Hester Peirce is concerned. I think that would also happen in a post-Gary Gensler SEC, maybe on the back of a pro-crypto president. So you can see all of this starting to come together. It's not that difficult to convert this into a staked ETH ETF either. It's just some paperwork and approval.
Right. And you see the path towards that actually happening. JD Vance, the VP that Trump has nominated, Trump likely going to win the election now. JD Vance very aware of who Gary Gensler is and disagrees with his position, and so will probably give Gary Gensler the boot if and when Trump gets elected. And we need to put in a new SEC commissioner. I don't know if it will be Hester Peirce, but I would sure love it if it was. I do know that Hester Peirce was like kind of like on her way out of the SEC, like kind of fed up with Gary's shit. I wonder if this new administration might change her mind and maybe she could stick around, please, Hester. Yeah. And then also give us staking in the ETF, please.
Hey, this is Jake Travinsky on it. But by the way, did we just get into politics? We promised no politics. I guess this is markets politics, but you know, breaking our promise already. ETH ETF next week. We promised. Last roll up without it. This is Jake Travinsky. There's no good reason why the SEC should prevent ETH ETFs from staking. Staked ETH isn't a security. Yes, it's not. And investors can fully understand the risk of a staked product, plus decide for themselves if they want to take that risk. It'll take a while, but this is a when, not an if, in my opinion. All right, that's the ETH ETF. Next roll up, it'll be live, available. We'll have some episodes about it next 100%. Week, I'm sure. David will be doing all of them. He doesn't know it yet fully. The question is, are people going to buy the Ethereum ETF? And if we can take the playbook from the Bitcoin ETF, if it plays out the same way it did for Bitcoin, that is very bullish for the price of ETH and for ETH ETF inflows.
Especially when in the last 2 weeks, we have seen actual material inflows into the Bitcoin ETF. So 2 weeks in a row of inflows, which is actually kind of a record since it tapered off in the first place forever ago. So a new all-time high in assets under management of the collective Bitcoin ETFs of 887,000 Bitcoins. Eric Balchunas, he also said Bitcoin ETFs are in 2 steps forward mode after 1 step back in June with another $300 million of inflows and $1 billion for the week. And so really seeing some healthy Bitcoin activity. I think I would like to know like inflows, high inflows means high Bitcoin price, but also just like pro-crypto sentiment as a result of all the politics, of which I won't bring up again, will also create more inflows. So I think like price and inflows are actually going to be like more meaningfully one-to-one coupled than them being decoupled. So like any sort of like pro-crypto sentiment that happens in the geopolitics macro world is going to result in inflows.
Do you want to hear some more pro-crypto sentiment? This time from Larry
Honestly,
Fink,
it was a really bullish week, but yes, hit me.
Yeah. Okay. So this is Larry Fink. We were talking about Jamie Dimon earlier. This is kind of Jamie Dimon's colleague in TradFi, Larry Fink. This is what he's saying about crypto this week.
As you know, I was a skeptic. Yes. I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe you're going to see that as one of the asset classes that we all look at. I look at it as digital gold, as I said before, and I do believe there's a real need for everyone to look at it as one alternative to, I would say, the optimism that I have in the world. If you want to hedge hope, Bitcoin is not an instrument for hope unless you're hopeful you're going to make a lot of money on it. But I look at it as a vehicle in which you're expressing your financial acumen in something that you're more frightened of the world, you're more frightened of your existence. And I believe there's a great industrial use for it. And I think a lot of people are missing that.
He goes on, David, for about another turn. Like this is Larry Fink fully converted, preaching the good word of Bitcoin. He's also, did you hear him almost leaving an opportunity, an opening for other crypto narratives and other other crypto assets. I mean, this is why BlackRock is just like the largest asset manager in the entire world, is because like he knows how the narrative game is played with large institutional investors. So he's saying this is the asset, digital gold, debasement, like monetary policy, like if you're concerned about the world, you like fear in the world, leaves the a space open to talk about Ethereum as like tokenization. You're optimistic about the world, like look at all the restructuring the entire financial system. The entire world will be tokenized. That's Act 2. He's going to do the exact same thing months into the Ethereum ETF as he did with Bitcoin. And the other thing I'll just note that what a pivot that Wall Street has taken.
Right.
They just had to have products to sell. Now that they have products to sell,
they had to have products to sell, and they needed it to be politically accepted.
And
I don't know what
both.
Larry Fink's politics are, but they are markets aligned. So like pick your base.
It's making money is the politics, I think, of TradFi.
Also, the BlackRock digital assets team is called the digital assets team. It's not called the Bitcoin team.
To continue leveling up your crypto game, then you need to get on the Bankless newsletter. It's the world's most popular crypto email and is completely free. Just click below to sign up.